Hi everyone, welcome to the stream. This is Twinning with Rice and Cookie. I'm Rice.
And I'm Cookie, and today we are playing more of Fire Emblem, the Sacred Stones.
That's right.
Yeah, and so over the past week, I have played one full chapter, and I also played like two of those like small little skirmish battles to help train your people. So, and I got everyone ready for this next battle, so it should be a very quick start, which is nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to wish everybody a belated Happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July, everyone.
We put Ripley's little American flag bow on. She's going to wear it all month.
That's good.
Yeah. Yeah, so anyways, Cookie, I wanted to tell you, because you know how we went paddleboarding?
Yeah.
And how we didn't know if the water was safe, so we just stayed on our boards.
Yes.
So Sea Tiger just told me, like 5 minutes ago, that his boss was telling him about this lake where it's 6 miles long, like half a mile wide. It's closed to motorboat traffic, and the water's clean, and it's like maybe an hour and a half away.
All right. I'd be down for going, like, because honestly, to me, like, that's the magic with paddleboarding, is you can always just sit on the paddleboard and, like, hop in the water, like, you know. Because that was the sad thing where we went, we're not really sure if the water's safe to go in, but...
Right. So this one is, yeah, it's south of Rochester.
Okay.
But the thing is, I mean, I told you I just found out about it, so I was trying to find a paddleboard rental place, but I wasn't seeing anything.
I see.
But the next lake over, which is another small lake, I saw that they had a kayak rental. But yeah, I don't know about paddleboarding.
Okay. That's okay. I mean, it would be nice to, you know, for all of us to have a paddleboard, but like, it works okay having just one paddleboard and then I'll just kind of, you know, using yours. Maybe it's not good. Is there a weight limit on your paddleboard?
There is, and I looked it up. It's like 570 pounds or something, or 550. But the thing is, because Sea Tiger was talking about maybe us meeting up with his friend and wife that live out that way.
Okay.
But they also don't have a paddleboard. So we don't know.
Okay.
But in the future, this summer, we will likely go there at some point.
Okay. That sounds good.
Yeah. So I was pretty excited to hear about that. Because, I mean, we are still planning to go to the Adirondacks, but, you know, if for some reason, like, we still don't feel safe to go, then I think going to this place, I mean, because Adirondacks, because they have the hiking and the paddleboarding, or at least that's why I like to go. So if we aren't able to go, at least we could still paddleboard and swim at the same time.
Right.
But yeah, I was pretty pumped. And I was also pretty excited when I called that farm and heard cherries, raspberries, and blueberries are ready.
I know, I was thinking, when are we going to go pick?
Well,
it seems like Saturday and Sunday morning are both going to be busy.
Yeah, well, we're doing our tea party at 11 a.m.
Uh-huh.
So I thought, depending on what time they open on Sunday, because it's
to go before?
Yeah, it's possible they open at like 10, and that wouldn't work. But if they opened early enough,
well, didn't the farm, I think, doesn't it open at like 8 or something?
During the week it did, but I don't know if it's Sundays too.
Okay.
Because, yeah, Saturday it was open at 8. But yeah, it really just depends on the weather, I think. Because if we can't go this weekend, then I suggest we go next weekend.
Okay, that works.
Yeah, and I would guess they're open till 5 every day.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's something I'd like to do. Pick some cherries. And I did order a metal straw.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Race
so
was telling me earlier.
Yeah, you can tell everyone.
Okay. Well, so she had some cherries, I think, from the farmer's market. And so she asked me if I had a metal straw, because apparently it's like, one of those hacks where you can like stab it through the cherry and it gets the pit out really well. I was like, well, no, I don't have it, because I used to have one, but then we left it at a restaurant. So, yeah. So she said, I was like, what about a chopstick? And I guess she's been trying chopsticks and it doesn't work well. So.
Yeah, and the thing is, because, I mean, right now it doesn't matter so much, because when I'm just eating them plain, I don't mind just like, popping it in my mouth and then spitting the pit out.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, the first day I had cherries, I had it in yogurt, which that was my first time when I'm like, oh, I'm going to try and pit these and use that special method. But first I tried a toothpick, and then Sea Tiger's like, why don't you try a chopstick? Because I was like, this isn't working.
Yeah.
He's like, why don't you try a chopstick? And I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. So then I tried the chopstick, but that still didn't, it worked better than the toothpick. Yeah, so the method, because they have like cherry pit things you can get, but I didn't want anything because it's like, well, it's not like we get cherries all the time. Yeah. So, because like they have this like box kind of thing that like, you put the cherry on and then you like press a lever and then the pit comes out. So this method, you get an empty bottle. So you could use like, we had a bottle of cider over the weekend, and so that was what I was testing it in. But like, I think a bottle, probably like a bottle of beer or a bottle of pop would work too. But so you have the empty bottle and you put the cherry on top, and then you stab it through at the stem, and then the pit falls into the bottle. And then your cherry is pitted. So anyways, I saw this hack when I was looking at a cherry canning recipe, because if you're canning, you're going to go through a lot of cherries.
Yeah.
And I know you can can them with the stem on, but
no one wants that.
Yeah, it's easier. Well, I heard that some people, if they're canning cherries for like garnishes in drinks, they will keep the stem because it's, I don't know, some aesthetic. But since that's not why I'm canning cherries, I want them pitted.
Yeah.
So yeah, I put an order in, and I think they're supposed to be coming in like on Friday, on the 10th or something. Maybe that's Saturday. Let's see. Oh, the 10th is Friday, yeah. Yeah, I think it's supposed to come in Friday.
Okay.
And actually, it came with, I think, 4 straws.
Okay.
Because there was no, like, single straw. Like, I would have taken a single straw. Maybe even 2. But I think they just didn't have anything available like that, so I just got 4. And they were pretty cheap, so...
I don't think... Because even if I still had the straw that we had, because it was, like, metal, but also it had silicone, too. And so, like, the 2 ends of the straw were, like, silicone. So I don't think
both had silicone?
Huh?
Both sides had silicone?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I don't think you would have wanted it. Or, like, it would
I don't think that wouldn't have worked.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm excited for my metal straws whenever they come in. But yeah, it was, like, 4 straws for maybe $4.
Okay.
For like $3.50, like it was cheap. But while I was at it, I also bought some more dog treats for my pup, and I got her a new nail clipper.
What's wrong with the old one?
Well, nothing's wrong with it, but from what I've been reading online, the kind that I have, I mean, I've never I've never made her bleed with it, but it's a lot easier to go too far. Whereas this new one I'm getting, it's more like scissors, so they're easier to operate. But then also, there's kind of a guard, so you can only go so far.
Okay. That's probably good.
Yeah, so I'm like, well, if it makes it a little easier for me to do her nails, you know, maybe I'll do them a little more frequently than when I'm currently doing them.
Yeah. All I know is I tried to help one of our friends with trimming her dog's nails. It's kind of a disaster.
Who's that? Oh, the friend down in Pennsylvania?
Mm-hmm. It didn't go so well. It was like her puppy was pretty new at that point, and like, I don't know. I think we scared her like really bad. So
probably like, oh my gosh, these two gigantic beings are holding me down.
I know. Like, and so at first I was like, okay, here, you hold the dog, I'll trim the nails. And then of course the dog is like squirming. I'm like, you know what? I don't feel comfortable doing this. I was like, I'm gonna mess up. And so then she was like, okay, let me trim the nails. You hold the dog. And then she's like, I can't do this either. So then she ended up taking her dog to PetSmart, I think, to get him trimmed. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm really like, you're supposed to trim them pretty frequently, like every few weeks, but I definitely don't do it that often. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you can just hear her nails just clickety clacketing all the way down the sidewalk. So, but yeah, I'm trying to get better at it. So yeah, I thought that these scissors would help. And they were pretty cheap too, because they were like, I don't know, $8 or $9.
Okay.
But I'm like, well, if it makes it so I don't have to buy any more of these, I think we'll be good. And also I thought for if we ever get a dog that has black nails, it'll just make me feel a whole lot better about trimming their nails.
Yeah.
Because then you can't see where the quick is. Ogre's here. Hey, yeah. Hi.
Hi, Ogre.
Hi, Ogre.
How are you doing? Let's see.
But yeah, so that was my Amazon order today.
All right. Well, that sounds pretty good.
So I'm trying not to spend too much money this month, or really probably for the rest of the year, because since we're getting that car, it's expensive. So it's kind of like ruining my financial year. So
yeah.
So I'm gonna try and be a little more frugal, but I still want to go to that ropes course.
Okay, yeah. That sounds good to me too. I am, you know, I feel like as far as for like my daily, or not daily, my monthly allowance. So I'm kind of like over my quota for this month already. Because from my spending last month, because I bought so many jars and I bought like the rubber gaskets for the jars. And it's like, granted, maybe that shouldn't be like my fun money, because is it really fun? It's kind of like, you know, kind of like groceries.
Yeah.
But I'm counting it as my fun money because I'm kind of treating it as a hobby. So
Gotcha.
So that's where we're at right now.
I see. Yeah, I mean because our anniversary was last week, and so we went out golfing and then we went out for lunch, and the golf was pretty expensive, but our parents had sent me a check for a gift, so I'm like, well, that's going towards the golf, but yeah, I'm like, you know, I should really try and be a little more conscious with where I'm spending my money. That's why I'm drawing my piano lessons out so far apart. Can't spend as much on piano lessons if you're only doing them once a month.
That's true. It's true.
So I haven't had a lesson in almost I think it's going to be like 5 weeks by the time I actually have my lesson.
All right.
Because I would have done it this week, but my teacher is, he and his wife are going to, I think, Massachusetts to visit some family. So So I was like, well, that's okay. I'll just wait another week.
Yeah.
It's all right. But it gives me a little more time to practice because I think I'm ready for my lesson now.
Okay, that's good.
Whereas, like, I didn't practice at all the first 2 weeks after my previous lesson.
Yeah.
Which actually, Kolchish heard me play a little bit.
Oh, yeah?
Because he was over playing, he was playing Magic with Sea Tiger, so, yeah, so I practiced a little piano.
Did he give you a review?
No. But Sea Tiger says I'm getting better, and I can tell I'm getting better too. You just wait till I play on your little keyboard once we're back streaming again.
Yeah, I haven't played ukulele, so I don't think we're ready for that duet just yet.
Oh no, I'm not either. I haven't practiced any of Overcooked.
Okay.
I saw that there's sheet music available, but you have to make an account on like some sheet music website, and it's only like a 30-day free trial, and then you have to pay for it.
We don't have to do any of those things.
Well, I couldn't find it anywhere else.
I mean, I could just have Argus write down the notes.
I could write it down too. I have a book that has all the lines on it. I just didn't want to go through all that effort. It would have been easier to just print it.
I see. Gotcha.
Yeah, but I could transpose it. But it's also easier to read when it's printed.
Yeah, I can see
not my
that.
messy handwriting. Ogre says, how do you like the Ron Burgundy, Will Ferrell podcast? You know, I listened to a couple episodes, and I'm not a huge fan. I mean, it wasn't bad. It was just not, I don't know. Because generally when I listen to podcasts, I listen more to like informational podcasts or travel podcasts, whereas his podcast is more about like just kind of random things. I listened to one, and actually I thought this one was kind of interesting. I listened to the one about the brain. Mm-hmm. I thought that one was pretty interesting, and then the other one was, I think, what was the other one? I don't know. And the thing is too, when I listen to podcasts, I kind of only half listen because it's when I'm doing work. So I can't remember what the other one was. That's terrible. I had started listening to one of the elevator episodes, or maybe it's the only elevator episode where they're stuck in the elevator. But I only got like 5 minutes in, and I'm like, no, I'm not feeling this one. Ogre says, gotcha. Yep. But yeah, I mean, still, thanks for the recommendation, because I always like recommendations for podcasts. I know a lot of people like the true crime kind of ones. I've never given one of those a go, but maybe that would be interesting. Have you checked out any of those, Ogre? And I'm gonna, on this other screen, I'm gonna just it to be white so that I kind of have more light coming in for me.
Okay. Oh look, it's our brother, Ephraim.
It is our brother.
Yeah.
Irica.
Yeah.
You know, I listened to, because my travel podcast, I'm all caught up now, and it's really sad. But anyways, this newest episode, it had been out for like a week or two, and I was delaying watching it because I'm like, oh, but if I listen to it, then I'm not going to have another one to listen to. But I finally listened to it yesterday, and she was talking about because she was talking about paddleboarding and how she has an inflatable stand-up paddleboard. I'm like, hey, I do too. And she's a brand ambassador for them, and it's called iRocket. Okay. And they're much more affordable than mine. So
that's annoying.
Yeah. The Sea Tiger's considering getting one, and he had seen a different paddleboard somewhere else, and I told him like, oh, like the travel blog or the travel podcaster I listen to, like she has this other kind. But yeah, we're considering getting a second one.
Okay.
But I mean, you know, it would be better to get it this summer, but I was going to say I could get it as a, you know, we could buy it as a pre-Christmas gift for ourselves.
Uh-huh.
And then just say we're not getting each other anything for Christmas because we got the paddleboard.
Yeah. Doesn't that just be kind of sad?
Yeah. I don't know. Ogre says true crime. Yeah, there's a few good ones. Do you have one you'd recommend? What were you say, Cookie?
You know, I don't remember. Sorry. I started focusing on the game again.
Was it about paddleboards?
Oh, no, I was just saying that it'd be sad for Christmas, but I was going to say how, you know, I keep looking on Facebook Marketplace for one of the KitchenAid attachments for making ice cream. Because, like, I don't know, they're like $75 new or something. And it's like, okay. But if I could get it used, you know, reduce, reuse, recycle.
Right.
So, you know, buy it used.
Save some money.
And then save some money. I was like, this sounds perfect. So I've looked online and like, it's kind of annoying because Argus drove like, there were 2 places you could buy them that were like en route to when he went to go visit his friend last weekend. But when I saw these listings, I didn't know he was going to be driving out that way so soon. So I didn't even think to contact the sellers. And so now they're gone, and now there's like the nearest one is in like Washington D.C. or something. It's like I'm not gonna go that far for this thing,
right? But yeah, to take a whole day off, drive all the way up.
Yeah,
there.
It's like that's not gonna happen. But so that's kind of been like
show up.
Yeah, so that's been kind of like my I don't want to say obsession, but like it's always on my mind. I want to make my own ice cream. Right.
Well, I wish you luck.
Yes, thank you. I don't even know like what flavor I'm most excited to make yet, but I just want to make everything.
All right. Yeah. I will test anything.
Okay.
If you want me to.
Sure.
But if you want to eat it all yourself, I would understand.
I mean, yeah, we'll see. Right now So I was really craving ice cream the other day, and I'm like always craving it right now because it's so hot.
Yeah.
But I had... It'll be okay. So I had... I insisted that Argus... Because, you know, I made those cookies because I was really craving cookies the other day. So I made myself cookies. And then I was like, you know, what I really want is like a chocolate chip cookie sundae where like you have a hot cookie and then you put some ice cream on it and you eat it all together and it's delicious. So I had Argus run to the store and pick up some ice cream for me. And let me say, I've had it for dessert the past 2 days and it's delicious.
What kind of ice cream did you get?
It's kind of like Panda Paws, but so it's like vanilla with fudge swirls, but there's also bits of cookie dough bites. And I think there's still the peanut butter cups too. So that's what I've been having. It's pretty good.
Okay.
I mean, because like just vanilla would work, but I like ice cream that has. I love the fudge swirls. Like they're my favorite. No,
I love vanilla. I also like the crunchy, fudgy kind of stuff. Because right now we have the extra cookie dough or something. Okay. The, like effect ice cream.
Yeah.
Because we still have that, but that's, I mean, you know, we don't have that much of it. It's like a pint. But yeah, I mean, I'm not usually in like a big ice cream mood. I mean, I like ice cream, but I'm never like craving it.
Oh, I've been craving it.
Okay.
Because I also told him that we should go to an ice cream shop over the weekend. Because the thing is, like, I like eating ice cream at home. I know it's way more like cost effective to just eat it.
I like eating it out better.
But I really just, I don't know. want the whole experience, I guess. So I want to go and get like an ice cream cone.
I like being outside and eating it.
Okay.
And Ogre says that he can't really recommend one of the true crime ones, but he says Ron Burgundy and Conan O'Brien. Those are the ones he's listening to. All right, I'll check out Conan. I'm gonna write that down because I like Conan. So. All right. Yeah, my boss and some of my coworkers are very ice cream focused too. And so I was talking about how I'm doing this front landscaping at my house and how I'm gonna have to keep going back and forth to get more crushed gravel and more border stones. And one of my coworkers was like, well, you gotta get some ice cream when you're doing all those trips. And I'm like, oh, but there's no ice cream places between my house and the place. And he's like, oh yeah, there is, because
because he knows where all the nearest ones are.
Well, no, he knows that that I live near the one ice cream and roast beef place that's local.
Yeah.
So he knows what neighborhood I live in, and that there's one of those really close nearby. So I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot that they're there.
Yeah.
Ogre loves ice cream. Do you guys eat lots of ice cream in Sweden? Because our brother has this board game called Wits and Wagers, and basically the card prompts tell you, like, you know, they give you some historical event or some fact, and you need to put a guess down. And one of the things was like, how many like gallons of ice cream does the average American eat? And it was like disgusting. I don't remember what it was, but I was just surprised. I'm like, holy cow, I didn't realize that people here ate so much ice cream.
People like their ice cream. There's nothing wrong with that.
I know, but I was still shocked, and I don't remember what it was. Or maybe how many quarts does the average person eat? I don't know.
There's just more than you were expecting.
It was definitely a lot more than what I was expecting. Ogre, what's your favorite kind of ice cream? If you're going to a place that has only vanilla, chocolate, and twist, what are you getting? And then if you're going somewhere that had a whole bunch of other options, what would you be getting? I still love that little ice cream shop we found that only offers the one twist flavor and you have to get it. The ice cream was amazing. The vanilla strawberry combination, so good.
I mean, it was good, but I feel like for me, because it was only soft serve, and I prefer a like hard serve ice cream, you know, like... Yeah, are you kidding me? Yeah, absolutely.
Well, the thing is, because soft serve, there's different levels of soft serve, because sometimes soft serve is kind of like... icy isn't the right word. But
it's not like creamy enough.
Yeah, it's not creamy. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
So, but like when you get a really good soft serve, like I think that's hard to beat. Especially because vanilla is just amazing.
Vanilla ice cream, like, I agree. Sometimes it's like a really good vanilla.
Best thing ever.
And I can respect that. But at the same time, like, I would like take that vanilla ice cream and add like anything to it. Like whether it's a fudge swirl, some like little Reese's cups, a peanut butter swirl, caramel, like I don't care. Add something to it. And it's going to make it better.
Ogre says anything with chocolate always wins.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I also like hard serve. I don't know. I like them both.
I will say
sometimes I like frozen custard too.
Sometimes hard serve I think is like too cold, you know, and like you can't like it's not even like soft enough to actually like lick and be able to get enough ice cream off it. But you also don't want it because like I've also been to ice cream places where like it's technically a hard serve, but like it's so melty that like you're like racing to eat it because otherwise it's gonna all melt and like fall on the ground.
Well, I feel like that's how frozen custard is. Like I feel like it's way too hot right now to get a frozen custard because it would just melt immediately.
Yeah.
Whereas like getting ice cream now, it would still probably melt pretty quick, but I think it would be a whole lot better than getting the custard.
Yeah. Darn it, she's in range. I hope she doesn't die. Okay.
Whew. Nice dodge.
Yeah. There's more. Oh my gosh.
Wow, there's tons of them.
There's always more. Okay. All right. All right. Yeah. There's
Well,
sorry,
I was gonna say,
Go ahead.
I mean, it's not important. But we had bought some heavy whipping cream for last week when we still had strawberry shortcake. But then we finished the strawberry shortcake and I still had like a cup of heavy whipping cream. And I was like, what am I gonna do with all of this? And so I ended up just making more whipped cream and I froze it in 2 separate containers. So the next time we want something with whipped cream, we can just thaw it and plop it on top.
Does that work okay?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have the same presentation that a freshly made whipped cream has. But yeah, I did that a couple times the previous time I had bought heavy cream for strawberry shortcake. And I thought it worked pretty well. The only thing was that I didn't let it thaw long enough because the inside was still a little frozen.
Yeah.
But I thought it worked out well. And it saved my heavy whipping cream from going bad.
Yeah, that's good.
And I mean, it probably would have stayed fine for a while longer. I just had no plan for it.
Yeah, because I have some heavy whipping cream, but it's been in the freezer this whole time because I was going to make that vanilla cake roll. Then I never got around to it, and so I'm still planning to make it. I'm just not ready to make it yet. So at this point, yeah, I'm just waiting, and so I just have it sitting in the freezer.
All right. Yeah, it would be cool to get to go berry picking this weekend, but yeah, I just don't want to get my hopes up because the weather, getting lots of rain.
Yeah, I keep forgetting about that.
Yeah, Ogre, is this summer like extra hot for you guys in Sweden too?
It's really hot.
Yeah, I feel like this is the worst summer we've had in a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, actually the summer a couple summers ago was bad. And that was why we got air conditioning because I was like, I can't handle this. And then last summer was mild, more mild anyways. And then, yeah, this summer has just been like awful.
Yeah, it's been really hot.
It's funny because we did a, like CU Tigers family, they do a big extended family call every couple weeks. And so we were talking to them and his mom was on the call and she's like, oh, we've been having such nice weather. And I was like, what?
Yeah, what weather are you talking about?
Well, she likes hot weather. And then my friend who lives in Michigan, she said that her mom is also enjoying the hot weather. And me and her are both like, they're crazy. Whereas when I was talking to our parents, our dad was like, this summer's terrible.
Yeah, that's good. At least someone has it right.
Right. I mean, it would be different. It would probably be different if I had a pool.
I know, yeah. I was
because if I had a pool, I'd be like, oh, this is great. I get to swim every day.
Yeah, because like the thing is, I wouldn't. Granted, I live in an apartment and there's no pool here. But for the past few days, I have been thinking, like, you know, if I were to have a pool in my future house, I would totally be using it this week.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I would too. Yeah, and I told CU Tiger that the day we go paddle boarding to that one lake, I'm like, I would be okay with it being a super hot day because then we can jump in the water and it'll be fine.
That's when you want it to be super hot. That's the only time, like,
Right.
because to me, the summer, I feel like shouldn't get hotter than like the low 80s.
Yeah.
Unless you're going swimming, in which case, hey, like, I don't know.
Upper 80s is fine.
I think even then, I don't want it to get above 90, but like if it's a little bit above 90, that's fine. No 100-degree days. Ew.
No.
I don't even know that we
90's
ever
too
get
hot.
those.
I don't think so. Or maybe like once. Let me check. So the highest temperatures each year. So since 2010, the highest temperature has, not including 2020. 2020 is not included in this list. The highest temperature was 96, and that was in 2012.
Okay.
And Ogre, for you, 96 is 36 degrees Celsius. So that's the hottest we've had. But yeah, there's only, so of that last 10 years, only 1 year did it not break 90. That was 2014. 2014 had an 89.
Okay. Wow, what a year.
What a year.
That was the same year they had the Snowvember, right?
Yeah.
What a year.
That was November. But I wouldn't want Snowvember every year.
Oh, no, absolutely not. Snowvember was clearly in November, but we had this like massive snowstorm. Granted, like we were not in the snow area. We got like maybe 1 foot
we got like
or something.
6 inches or something.
But then like people on the other side of the city, they got like 6 feet. So that was Snowvember.
Or was it 7 feet?
I don't know. It was a lot. That's all I know.
Yeah.
Holy cow, he almost died.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, he's not really even our guy. He's with Ephraim's group, and so we've never even seen this person before.
Oh.
So, like, if he died, I wouldn't be heartbroken or anything, because I haven't invested the time. But
probably still better if he doesn't.
Yeah, we don't want him to die.
You know, when you were talking about ice cream and cookies, so you're eating those chocolate chip cookies that you had made?
Yeah, because I froze the dough, so I just stick them in the oven a little bit longer.
I was thinking about how, you know, when you're kids and you go to birthday parties, they always did cake and ice cream. And I always kind of thought it was a weird combination, but when you had mentioned cake and cookies, that's what I was thinking of. And I'm like, you know what? That sounds kind of good.
I know, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So I had thought about that. Well, so at work, we used to have a monthly birthday party in the design group. And so there was always so much food. Like everyone, I guess not, I never even brought in a dessert because there was always so much dessert that other people brought in. But they would often have ice cream. They would often have like a couple of varieties of cake. So like I had cake and ice cream, and you know, it's a pretty solid combination. I do think like ice cream and brownies are better.
Do you?
Mm-hmm. Especially if the brownie's warm. Like I'm telling you, just get that little meltiness with the ice cream. It's really good.
Well, maybe I should I haven't made brownies in ages. But maybe I should make brownies or cake sometime. Yeah. I was actually considering making pancakes this weekend because I was thinking about doing it last weekend and then I got lazy. So, because there's a recipe. So I bought this teff flour for a chocolate chip cookie recipe. And they were good, but that was the whole reason why I bought the teff. And so now I'm like, well, these pancakes also use teff flour, so I thought that, you know, that would be a good way to use it. But yeah, they're pumpkin pancakes. So I could make those and then thaw the whipped cream in my freezer and have pumpkin pancakes with whipped cream.
That'd be pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, not cake and ice cream, but, you know.
No.
The thing is, I think part of the reason why cake and ice cream works for me, or like why I like it, is because I like the combination of the frosting with the ice cream.
Okay, yeah. I do like frosting too.
Yeah. I know you do.
Yeah, that's always, whenever there were cakes for any birthday party, I always wanted a piece that, like, either was a corner or had, like, the big flowers on it, so it was more frosting.
Sea Tiger's grandma also likes the flowers.
You know, they're pretty and they're also delicious, so.
See, I never liked the flowers. I always liked to go for a middle piece that had nothing. So, I mean, you know, it would just have the little layer of frosting on the top.
Yeah.
But that was all it needed, I thought.
I mean, at this point, since, like, I'm an adult and I have less of a sweet tooth than I used to. Granted, I still have a pretty bad one. I feel like for me, I don't need that corner piece anymore. I still like having a little extra frosting, like, so give me a flower, but I'm kind of past the corner. Because one time I had, it depends on the frosting, because sometimes the frosting is just so sweet.
Yeah, if it's like the whipped frosting, amazing.
Yeah, I really like.
Then I would take more frosting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not going to be making cake probably well, because the thing is, it's like if I make a cake, it's just me and Sea Tiger eating it. And like a cake is harder to make small because there's only so small of pans you have.
Well, that's why you can do cupcakes, which I know cupcakes aren't the same as cake. It's true.
They're not as good.
I think I agree with you.
No, I guess if you were to do like a 9x9 pan, that wouldn't be too bad. Or an 8x8. It's still a lot of cake.
Yeah. Well, I I have 2 6-inch round pans. Because those are pretty small. So whenever I make a cake for me and Argus, that's what I use.
Or I suppose if you used a bread pan, like I have maybe a 6-inch by 10-inch pan, something like that. Like that could maybe work.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Oh, I wanted to tell you because so over the 4th of July, Cookie had some of my Sitka salmon fish.
Oh, I already went here.
And I thought it was good, but I thought I could have cooked it a little better. But one of my podcasts, it's called Milk Street. And so I heard today in the episode I was listening to, he's like, oh, and if you wanted to, like, we have free courses online for cooking. And I was like, oh, like, I'll check one of these out. So, so they have a whole bunch of them. And the one that I am doing is a fish cooking little class. So, like, they give you a handful of recipes, and then from the recipes, like, they do a video of them cooking the recipe, and then they tell you, like, why they're doing certain things and, like, certain considerations you have to do for different kinds of fish. So yeah, so I started looking at that. But the thing is, like, and I expected this, the recipe is a lot more involved than what a lot of the other fish recipes I do are. So that was a little bit of a turnoff, but I'm like, well, like, the thing is, they're also teaching you, like, methods so that you can then customize it later. So I'm like, I'll at least learn the method. So today, the lesson, because I decided I was going to do, like, one lesson a day. The lesson today was about searing salmon, and what they recommend doing is, like, letting it, well, they say bring the pan up to heat, and then as soon as you put the fish on, to, like, really put it on low, reduce it. And then they say when you flip the fish, you should cover it and take off the heat. So then it's just the residual heat from the pan is cooking the fish. Because then it helps you not overcook.
I see.
But they only recommended doing that for salmon, because they said that for whitefish, that since it's more delicate and there's not as much fat in it, that it's better to poach, braise, or bake. So yeah, I thought it was interesting, and I'm gonna keep doing that. Something to do. and get me better at cooking fish.
I thought your fish was good.
Well, thank you. I mean, I thought it was good too, but I just think it could have been better, and then you would have been like, wow, this is amazing. I gotta do this. Though I know you probably won't get to that point, but that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, as it is, I don't really cook meat often. Like, it's really just like if I'm cooking for Argus, I'll either like bake him some chicken, or I'll do like ground beef for chili or tacos or something like that. So I feel like for me at this point, I don't really cook meat, and I feel like doing fish is just like another thing I have to figure out.
I could teach you.
Well, yeah, but at this point, I don't think I really care to.
Okay, that's fine.
But maybe someday.
I got some bad news in my email today. So the farm that I've been buying breakfast sausage from. So they had this this misunderstanding with the city who holds the farmers market. So apparently, so the city was like, oh, you got to make sure, COVID-19, we all got to wear our masks and stuff. And they were really good about wearing their masks. But out of the blue, they got this notice that they're no longer allowed to be at the farmers market.
Wait, which vendor is this?
The people that I've been buying our breakfast sausage from.
Okay.
But I've also bought, fermented carrots there, and I bought regular ground beef there, and they have a whole bunch of other things that I was interested in trying. And I really like their farm, but they aren't able to go anymore. So, and they said it's probably just a temporary thing. Maybe next year they'll come back, but COVID-19, it's just terrible.
Yeah.
Just ruining everything. But I guess that'll make my farmer's market trips a little cheaper.
Yeah, it's true. Not really the way you wanted it to be cheaper, though.
No.
Yeah, at the farmer's market for me this past week, I got some beets and I got some. Now?
Yeah. Do you like beets?
Well, so the thing is, I bought them and I told the people, I was like, I don't really know that I've had, because I know I did have beets once, and I think I sliced them really thin. I had them in my salad because at the time that was what the farm that I bought them from said to do. And so I asked them, this time I just went up to their stand, and a different farm stand. And I was just like, I want to roast some vegetables. What do you recommend I roast? And so all three of the girls that were there, they're like, oh, you gotta do beets, especially with onion and sweet potato. They're like, it's perfect. So I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot. So, and it's delicious. Granted, I didn't have the sweet potatoes. I did a little bit of squash with it, and I did the mushrooms, some onion, and the beets were really good. I didn't know I really liked them that much, but turns out I do.
Well, I had made, once I had roasted, maybe it was butternut squash with beets and I think onion. And yeah, I really liked it, but Sea Tiger did not. But I have a good beet burger recipe if you're interested in that.
Well, isn't it very time consuming?
Yeah.
So I don't know. At this point, I've been buying myself veggie burgers. I actually bought a spinach veggie burger at the farmer's market. So
yeah, but they're just okay.
I mean, but I haven't tried it for myself yet.
Okay.
So I feel like I have to wait and see.
That's fine.
Mm-hmm. But I do like, there's the Bubba veggie burger I think is pretty good. Because I bought that a few times from the grocery store. But, Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I was just always disappointed in veggie burgers that I got anywhere, but I mean, except for Moosewood. But I thought that the ones that I've made, like the few from the Moosewood cookbook that I've made, and then also those beet burgers, I thought were very good. Like I think the homemade ones, though I did have one, it was like a sweet potato black bean burger, so it sounded good, but it was like really dry and like kind of tough. So
that's a homemade one.
Yeah. So that was the only one that I didn't like, but I think like the homemade ones are so much better than the store bought. And then you know what's in them too. No mystery, you know, soy protein isolate or whatever.
Yeah. I don't know. Because the thing is, it just seems so intensive. It's like, it's kind of like the same thing as if someone said, "Oh, like I make my own like like a regular burger," you know, like with the whole meat grinder. It's like, to me, it's a whole thing where it's like, I don't know that I want to be that intense.
Okay.
But I don't know, because like since it's veggies, like it seems less intense than that. Because somehow that just seems like way too much work. But
yeah, the only thing I would say, like my complaint for making veggie burgers is like, once you have the mix all ready to go, it's like, you know, I kind of just want to be done at that point and just like eat it with a spoon. But then you have to form it into patties and bake, or sometimes they have you cook it on the stove, but usually you bake them.
Yeah. But also, because you like to have
that's my complaint.
Because you eat your veggie burgers like with rice. Like you don't do it on a bun or anything. Whereas I like to have it be just like a regular burger, but you know, veggies.
See Tiger, he eats his on buns. The black bean ones anyways. The red lentil burgers fall apart, but they're really good with rice. I had bought the Sunshine burgers before. They have like a Southwest burger and it's made with black beans and stuff, and I thought that that one was decent.
Okay.
And that one's actually grill sturdy.
Okay.
I just think they were maybe somewhat expensive. I'm pulling them up just so I can tell you a little more, because it's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got the black bean Southwest. It's got sunflower seeds, brown rice, carrots, black beans, and then spices. But yeah, it's it holds up on the grill, which I thought was a good plus.
Feature.
Yeah. And the reason why I got those was for the corporate challenge. Because I was helping my last company organize it. And so people were like, "Oh, like we need a veggie burger. What do you recommend?" And I was like, "I don't know. I make my own." So then I did a little research and I was like, you know, I think the Sunshine burger is the one to go. But yeah, I mean, because my whole issue with the whole like, you know, veggie burger movement and fake meat movement is that it's like, they put so much crap in so many of them that it's like, what are you even eating?
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that like the Impossible Burger and all of that. So I think the Impossible Burger, is that one peas? I don't know. But yeah, you just don't want fillers and stuff just for the sake of being vegetarian. Who's she gonna dance? Oh, the healer?
Yeah, well, because we're sending a group to the south because those enemies don't look like they're gonna come for me. they're just gonna kind of sit there. But the thing is, like, because there's these guys that, like, they just showed up here. And so all the bad guys are going for them. It's like, well, but what about all my people up here that want the experience? So I figured we're moving people in.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Some of them, like, aren't good at walking in the sand.
Oh.
So I guess
that's annoying.
We're going to leave this guy behind.
Could you fly them?
You can, but then it's like a whole thing to, like, drop them off. You know? It's not very efficient.
Yeah. Yeah, and it looks like the Bubba Burger, its first ingredient is the black beans. Black beans and then oats.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Those are, like, my go-to. One time I bought some that, like, they were in, like, the health food section, you know? And they, like, were not good. And the thing is, the bag came with, like, 10 of them or something. Whereas, like, normal container comes with, like, 6 or something. So I had to really struggle my way through that.
Yeah, well, I think the those veggie burgers you bought at the market, like, they're fine. They do have less ingredients, so you know that, like, you know what ingredients they're using.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just don't think they're great. And when you look at, like, the calorie count on them, it's not very much, so it's not overly filling.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe I don't think I bought the spinach ones too often, so maybe that one's better. I had bought the Power Burger a couple times, but I did not like that one. The taste was not good. Don't do it.
Okay, yeah. Wait, so you said not the Power Burger? Because, yeah, I saw that one, and I was like, gosh, how are you supposed to choose? But I just saw the spinach one because I was like, I know what spinach is, and I know that, you know, I like it, so it's kind of my logic behind that.
The one that we got the most often was the the lentil burger. Because I think that one was my favorite.
Okay.
But yeah, we didn't eat them very often, and so we had one in our freezer, and we just ate it maybe, like, earlier this year, and it was so, like, freezer
burnt.
Like, I don't know if it was freezer burnt. It just tasted like the freezer. It was terrible.
Oh, that sucks.
I had to put, like, tons of salsa or something on it just to drown the flavor.
Yeah, so I won't have it just sitting in the freezer then for too long.
Yeah, don't do that.
Okay.
You'll regret it.
All right.
Ooh!
That's our guy. Good thing, right?
Oh, I thought we were the other guy.
No, that's our guy.
I think it's strange how this game has the bad guys on the left. I don't know. I feel like it's more intuitive to have our guy on the left.
Yeah, I think I agree with you on that.
Yeah, I don't know why they would do it the other way. But yes, that is good that was our guy.
Yeah. Well, again, they're not really our people because they're new to us. But
well, but maybe they'll join our team.
So the thing is, I've kind of gotten to a point where I've developed our team and, like, I've picked who I want to continue with us. So then now that we've got these, I mean, granted, of course we'll take Ephraim because he's our brother, but these other two guys, I don't know. We don't know them. Yeah. We don't know their stories.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah, ice cream does sound good. Maybe, well, the rain. I really don't want it to rain so much this weekend. Like, why can't it just rain now?
I know. It's like we're not doing anything during the week.
Yeah.
I agree.
Were you thinking if we don't go to the beach, that we'd get, like, Indian takeout?
Yes.
Zapper's here. Hype, hype, hype. Hi,
Hey,
Zapper.
Zapper. Thanks for the hypes.
Did you have a good 4th? Yeah, because there's an Indian place, kind of, I mean, it's not that close, but it's semi, you know, the one we go to, I guess.
Oh, well, because I was thinking I would just pick it up from where our friend used to go.
Oh, well, you could do that too.
So I mean, it's not like it's really on my way, but it can be on my way kind of thing, so.
Yeah. And we could comparison shop.
Yeah. But
Then I gotta decide
love
what I
Indian
want to
food.
eat. Yeah, it's always hard. I like the buffet.
I know.
And I think buffets are going to be a thing of the past.
I know. Or at least you're not going to be able to go to a buffet for like a long time.
Yeah, so it makes it a lot harder to decide what kind of Indian food you want.
Yeah, you actually have to make a decision.
Yeah. Well, Zapper got killed in Fortnite all day on the 4th.
Oh man, happy 4th.
Yeah, sounds like you got to, you know, play some video games. Too bad you died so many times, though.
Yeah. Solid way to spend your 4th of July, though. We went paddleboarding, and then I went home and washed jars, which, granted, actually, so I finished washing them, and then it was like a whole nother struggle because, like, so there's the jar, the glass lid, and then there's 2 metal, like, clasps that keep it closed. So I had washed everything at once. I combined everything together, and I didn't realize I should have kept like each jar with its metal components, because as it was like a huge matching game of trying to figure out which metal parts went with which ones and with which jar. Like it took me at least 2 hours, probably longer, just to sort through all those things. So I ended up watching a lot of movies. I watched Princess and the Frog, Moana, and I think I watched something else. I did watch an episode of Kim Possible. I think that was about it.
Well, Ogre just got back. He had to get some chocolate ice cream since we talked about ice cream for so long.
Good. I'm glad that we helped.
I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what I did on the 4th was I went paddleboarding with Cookie.
Oh, and then
and Stew Tiger.
We had dinner together also. Rice made the fish.
And the time between that, I took a nap. And I can't remember what else I did. I don't know. I was really tired. No, I know that. Stew Tiger just said bonfire. I'm like, I know we had a fire.
Yes, we had a bonfire, and I
wouldn't call it a bonfire. I would just call it a neighborhood backyard fire.
Yeah, just a little backyard fire. I had 5 marshmallows, 2 of which were s'mores, the other 3 were just plain.
Yeah, I had some s'mores too, and we got to use my little pie iron, but it didn't really work out so well. Never putting marshmallows in that again.
Yeah, it was kind of a waste because they disintegrated.
Yeah,
but now we know.
We did peanut butter marshmallow, but I think next time I'm gonna do grilled cheese.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Oh, but I was gonna say, the movie that we watched this last weekend we watched Togo, which I already told Cookie about it. But it's the real, well, the more historically accurate. I'm sure they still stretch the truth in parts, but it's the more historically accurate version of Balto. Togo was the real hero.
Yeah. We watched The Sandlot as our 4th of July movie. And you know, I was wrong. Because I said before, like, oh, it's just a summer movie. But the 4th of July happens. There's a lot in the movie that I had forgotten.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so the 4th of July happens. There's, like, a huge, like, carnival kind of thing going on. It's not even a there's, like, you know, like, stalls where you can buy, like, fried dough and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't remember if there were rides or anything. But, so it is a 4th of July movie. It's confirmed.
Okay. Ogre's asking, what's our favorite movies?
Oh, gosh.
So, it's always a good question. I think my favorite is Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl. Only that one.
I actually have no idea what my favorite movie is. I will say, after watching Moana this weekend, that I am confident in saying it is my favorite Disney movie.
Oh, really?
Because for a long time, I would say that I had 3 favorites, like Mulan, Moana, and The Lion King. But after I saw Moana again, I was just like, I don't know. It's that whole, like, sense of adventure that calls to her. Like, I get it. So for me, like, it just hits me, you know, right. So.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't know what my favorite Disney is.
But as far as like my regular favorite movie, because I don't know that Moana is my favorite movie. It's my favorite Disney movie, but I don't even know what is in the running for my favorite movie. Like,
besides the Disney movies?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'll think about it. I'll try and come up with an answer next week.
Yeah, besides Pirates, I don't know. It is a good question. Zapper says, how about by genre? Top 5 in each genre.
Whoa, that's a hard... That's a tough question, too.
Well, I don't watch scary movies, so that one's off the
Scary movies are my least favorite, or like psychological thriller, no.
Actually, you know, I would say for scary movies, I would say that I thought Silence of the Lambs was pretty decent. As far as, like, it actually isn't just like a stupid scary movie. I thought it was good. So I will just say that for scary. For action, I would pick the Mission Impossible series. All of them. Except for 2. I think 2 was the bad one.
I've never seen any of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think they're pretty good. I think they're more entertaining than like a... Well, granted, I've never seen it. Like a Fast and Furious.
Yeah, I've never seen those
but
either.
I think I like it better than James Bond, too. But I haven't seen that many James Bond movies, I guess.
I will say I like... It's like mystery, I guess. Does that count as a category? Yeah. I did really like seeing Knives Out. I thought that was really good.
I also liked Knives Out.
And in that category, I mean, it's not really murder mystery. I do enjoy the movie Clue. It's...
You know, we watched
It's
that.
more of a comedy.
Yeah, we watched that fairly recently because we had watched Knives Out, and I'm like, oh, this kind of reminds me of Clue. And Steve Tiger had never seen it, so we watched Clue a few weeks later, and it is definitely more of a comedy.
It is, but it's also, it's still a mystery.
It is. It is
Who
still
done
a mystery.
Let's see. What else?
What other genres? Comedy, I guess. Do rom-coms fall in that?
I would say it's more of a romantic. I don't know. That's the thing, is I feel like genres don't even exist. Everything overlaps.
I'm not a big comedy, like the comedy, like general comedy movies. I'm not usually a big fan of. Uger says his favorite movie is Fargo. Great movie, and the TV series is even better. I remember when Fargo came out, but I never saw it. Is that one? Or am I thinking of... Was Argo a movie too? I'm gonna look it up real quick. Because I do remember when it came out. Okay, this is not what I was thinking it was.
I never saw Fargo.
I was thinking of some other movie that I think came out. Oh, no. I'm thinking of a different movie because this one came out in '96.
Is Fargo the one that has Aragorn in it?
No. I think that might be Argo.
How confusing. I will say, I do like the Lord of the Rings movies.
No. Argo has Ben Affleck in it. And I was thinking of Argo and not Fargo, because I think Argo is more of a, like... Yeah, it's like a hostage situation.
Okay.
Fargo is a comedy thriller film. I've never seen that.
Mm-mm.
Fargo.
Gosh, I'm really just stuck on.
I wonder if it's on Amazon.
What my
It's
favorite
a
movie is.
homespun murder story. Fargo is. You have to watch it. You can thank me later.
Okay.
All right. Fargo. Okay. Hopefully Amazon has it. So let's see. So comedy I kind of skipped over. Rom-coms. I really like Love Actually. I also like The Proposal. I thought When Harry Met Sally and Sleepless in Seattle were also good.
Sleepless in Seattle is now on Netflix. Did you see that?
No, I didn't. That's good to know. Maybe I'll have to give it a rewatch. Animal movies.
Gosh, I feel like I haven't seen, like, why can't I think of any movies?
I know, I'm struggling with it too. Animal movies, I thought Togo was good, which I just said that. I never saw Marley and Me, or what was the, like A Dog's Purpose? I never saw that either.
Mm-mm.
There's gotta be other animal movies.
I mean, there's like all the horse movies, like Secretariat or like Black Beauty,
yeah.
Free Willy.
I never saw those.
And don't forget about Lassie or like Benji or...
How could I forget about Lassie?
What other, like, I don't know, because the thing is, I'm having a hard time thinking of one that, like... I will say, I watched,
Zapper says The Notebook. Is that your favorite, or... I've never seen that one.
There's the movie with the dolphin, Dolphin Tale.
Bound.
That one's pretty sad.
Homeward Bound.
Like
That's a great one, Kolchish. But Dolphin Tale, like, that one I watched on an airplane, but it actually, like, I think I almost cried during it.
It's pretty sad. I thought it was well done. I don't know that I would say it was, like, my favorite or anything, but...
Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of historical movies. Like I watched The King's Speech and... Well, The Iron Lady, I was watching on a plane too, and I couldn't hear anything that was going on. And I'm like, this is awful. So I'm not a good judge of that one. But I feel like a lot of times historical movies I don't get overly interested in. Ogre says he fell asleep watching Titanic at the cinema. Heard it's good though. So Titanic, once when we were in high school, we started watching it, but we had missed the first half hour.
And we didn't realize it was like such a long movie, but we were already invested.
Yeah, so we started watching it, and then the Titanic was on again afterwards. So then we watched the first half hour, and we're like, oh, now we've seen all of the Titanic. And it's a very long movie. It's decent. I mean, really, the whole thing you get out of it is Celine Dion's song.
Yeah. That, and also that there was totally enough room for both of them on that, like, wooden board.
There was enough room.
Yeah.
What did you say, Bob? Oh. He said boobs. Because, you know,
yeah.
What's her face gets painted. What? What'd you say? He said it's a big deal when you're 12. Coach just said it's so long it was 2 VHS tapes.
That's pretty intense.
It is. I'm gonna go refill my water for a sec. But yeah, like, because when you consider that a lot of Disney movies were on VHS and they were like 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Good old Disney movies being nice and short.
I know. Why? Oh, you know, the other movie I watched this weekend was Brave. And actually, I will say, when I watched Brave the first time, I thought it was disappointing. But now that I know where the plot goes, instead of like my way cooler version, I'm okay with it. It's a cute movie. Yeah, it's still not as good as what I imagined. Like, it was going to be really cool. The movie totally did not go in the direction I thought it was going to, and I was disappointed.
Yeah, I know you were. I've only seen it the one time, so maybe I should watch it again.
Yeah, I mean, I was just kind of looking on Disney Plus and seeing, like, you know, what was on there and what should I just check out. So granted, they were all movies I had seen before, but I don't know. Just felt like watching them.
You should watch Togo.
I probably should.
It made me start looking into other dog breeds so that we could get a second. But then I was going on not a wild goose chase, but I was just looking at so many dogs. I was looking at the Brittany for a long time. But then I decided that it has too much energy.
I think that's the right conclusion from that.
Yeah, I also looked into Portuguese water dogs, and then I was watching a video of an owner, and she was like talking, and the water dog was kind of like walking around. But what sold me on not getting one of those either is that it drank some water, and then I saw the wet beard.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, never doing this again.
Yeah, growing up, our dog had a beard. And like the thing is, it was always like, because like if it wasn't wet, then it's just like stained and like gross looking from like drinking the water. Yeah, it's not a good look.
Yeah, and so, well, because I was initially looking at a list, because I was like, oh, I love Ripley, but she doesn't have so much hair. So I was like, what if we got a dog that was easier to groom? So that was what led me to the Brittany, because the Brittany still sheds, but it's a very low maintenance coat. You just like brush it maybe once a week. And then its coat is fairly short, and I think it's a single coat. I don't think it's a double. But so when it sheds, it's not as bad.
Yeah.
What a lot of shedding dogs are. So I was like, I didn't realize that. But yeah, the high energy, I can't do it. Also, they said that sometimes they get the like nervous, excited pee.
Yeah, it's no good.
I didn't want to deal with that.
You know, anytime that I look into dogs, being like, maybe I'll get a dog someday. Not even like an anytime soon kind of thing. But then I just see how like, I think about how much work a dog is. I'm like, or I could just get another cat. And I'm like, that sounds better.
Ogre says, No Country for Old Men, amazing movie, easy top 10. I haven't seen that one either.
No.
I've heard of it, but yeah, I haven't seen it. Man, what other movies do I like?
I mean, like,
Culture says that's a great one. Maybe I'll write that one down too.
We've spent a lot of time like watching the Harry Potter movies because granted we really liked the Harry Potter books. But I would never say that those are like great movies, except for maybe the 7th one. I really like that one.
I do too.
But I feel like in general, like most like book to movie movies, like, because I like reading, but I feel like the movies though usually aren't like, they don't really hold a special place in my heart kind of thing.
Yeah. Zapper says, how about Twister? It's in my top 5. I haven't seen that one.
Memento's really good.
Yeah, I only saw Memento once, but I did enjoy it.
Yeah, I really like Memento, but I feel like for me, like, for a favorite movie, like, in general, I like movies that are happier. Whereas, like, Memento's pretty, like, serious.
That's why I like rom-coms, because they're generally happy.
Like, I don't know. I really have no idea what my favorite movie is.
Well, Zapper, I wrote Twister on the list too, so I can watch that one in the coming coronavirus weeks. Ogre also likes Memento.
Yeah. I mean, really...
A movie that I thought was similar to Memento, somewhat, was... I want to say it's called Shutter Island. But I thought that it was one of those that has, like, a twist, you know? And I really wanted, like, I wanted the one guy to be right, and he wasn't. So, but yeah, Culture says yeah, Shutter Island's a bit similar and pretty good. Yeah, I thought it was decent. I mean, I feel like I've seen a decent number of movies, but yeah, it's just hard to pick a favorite because then it's like you commit to it as your favorite and you're like, this is my favorite and it's representing me.
I know, I feel the same way.
But I do really like Pirates. Every time I watch it, I'm just like, man, this is so good because the soundtrack is good. I think
doesn't it just make you want to become a pirate? Because I know it does. Always made me want to become a pirate.
And like in the first one, I think the acting's pretty good. I think in the sequels, like Johnny Depp becomes like way too crazy, like unbelievably so. But yeah, I just get so happy when I watch that movie. So I'm like, I think it has to be my favorite. But yeah, I mean, I am just struggling to come up with other movies that I like enough to be a favorite.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's all the superhero movies, but you know, I'm not going to put any of those in my.
If I were to pick
my favorite one, though, it's a category. Got to come up with a favorite in the category.
Well, my favorite superhero movie, I'm going to say, is Wonder Woman. I thought it was solid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because as far as like the Marvel movies go, I think Captain America was my favorite. Which, like, I know everybody's all like, Iron Man is so great. Maybe these are all outdated opinions because so many movies have come out since, like, the ones when I stopped watching.
Well, the thing is, with
I
Iron
like
Man,
Wonder Woman.
I think the reason why a lot of people pick Iron Man as their favorite is because he was the first one. Like,
I mean, the story is good too.
He was like the first successful superhero movie.
What about Batman? You know, like, Batman Begins, The Dark Knight.
No, I think Iron Man was before that.
I'm not totally sure. I mean, you're forgetting about the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies, though, too.
No, that's what Zapper says. What about Spider-Man?
Nobody likes. I guess I shouldn't say nobody, but like, I do not like Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man. I don't like Tobey Maguire as an actor. I feel like he was not a good choice for Spider-Man.
Oh, you're right. Batman Begins was 2005. Iron Man was 2008.
Wow, that's a lot earlier.
Yeah, 3 years. See, I think for superhero movies, my favorite would be, I think I would pick Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay.
Because it's more lighthearted than a lot of them. I mean, granted, like Thor was always pretty not as heavy as some of the others, but yeah, I think Guardians of the Galaxy is good because I think the characters work really well together. Mm-hmm. The cast, anyways. And Groot is super cute as a baby Groot. But yeah, definitely the first one. Like, the second one isn't as good. I didn't think, anyways.
Yeah, I didn't like the premise of this. I mean, granted, in general, I always like origin stories. So for me, with superhero movies, I'm always gonna like the first one best. And when I say always, I mean like always. Because lots of people say like the Dark Knight is the best one, that trilogy, but I think I like Batman Begins better, but that's an unpopular opinion.
No, I liked the third one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did. Dark Knight Rises. Yeah, I like that one. That's a good series.
But I still think I like Wonder Woman better. I
like Gal.
I thought she was like, I liked the casting. Granted, I feel like she should have been buffer, but I'm always gonna think that. But
she did a lot of like, I think, boxing as training.
Yeah, I thought that the movie was good. And it wasn't like, because the thing is, like, with the Batman movies, because I think they're really good, but they're very dark. And as I just said, I'm not as into, like, I like dark movies. Like, I think they're good, but I don't think I'd ever say they're my favorite.
So what about the book to movie genre? I would rank Holes maybe as number 1.
I would say, I mean, Hunger Games, the first one, was a very accurate movie.
It was pretty accurate.
But I will say, because now I started reading, I've only read the first chapter so far of the Hunger Games in preparation for that new book that was just released. And so I did forget a lot of like the tiny details, like, because they said how many people live in District 12, which I didn't remember them ever saying. Because I always wonder, I'm like, how can they all fit in this one town square to do this, you know, the reaping or whatever. And there's 8,000 people in District 12, in case you didn't know. That's not that many people.
I didn't. That isn't. Zapper says maybe Lion, Witch, in the Wardrobe. That's it. That is a good movie.
That is.
I always liked that one.
Me too. It's very like charming.
One. Yeah. Culture says I never saw it, but I heard that Aragon is the worst book to movie sin any human ever committed. You know, we did see it.
We did see it.
It was so horrible.
It was not
so
good,
horrible.
But here's the thing. So I watched it again recently because I was like, okay, in my mind, this was always such a bad movie. And I was like, maybe I just need time away from the book and like maybe I'll like the movie better. That's not true. It was still a bad movie, but I think it is a better adaptation than the Last Airbender movie for the TV show. Like,
probably.
Because
that was really an abomination.
Because I've seen both pretty recently, and to me, like, that's a greater injustice to the source material compared to, like, Aragon is a bad movie, but it's not as bad as what the Last Airbender was.
We were so excited for it, too.
Well, the thing is, I couldn't, because, like, we were cautious, though. Like, we knew, like, things could not, like, they might not work out, kind of thing.
Yeah, so the thing is, so we knew this movie was coming out. We were so excited. And
then we saw the trailer.
And one of our cousins who we had convinced him to watch the show, he and his mom, they came like, what, 4.5 hours, 5 hours to come watch it with us. So they spent the weekend with us and then they watched the movie with us. And we were just like, wow, absolutely terrible.
Yeah. It was disappointing for sure.
Cultures just finished the Avatar series yesterday. So what'd you think?
It's my favorite TV show, by the way. Just throwing that out there.
Rough?
Rough? What are you
What's
talking
so
about?
rough about it? We're watching Korra season 2. And it, like, Korra, I mean, it's frustrating. It's not as good as Avatar, except for like season 3 was good, but yeah, season 2 is just not my favorite. Ogre says the Coen brothers movies pretty much all top 10. I'm not great with directors or producers. Oops, I spelled brothers wrong.
Or is that a series?
No, they're people.
Okay. So I don't know.
Oh, they did Fargo, Big Lebowski. Oh, okay, Big Lebowski.
I'm not a fan of the Big Lebowski.
Oh, they did True Grit. I saw True Grit with my parents in theaters. Fun fact. A lot of these I have not seen. Oh, the No Country for Old Men, which was mentioned before. Paris, je t'aime. Just Paris, I love you. Me, my great French, which I have not practiced in ages. Yeah, I haven't seen the rest of those. Ogre says True Grit, burn after reading. I did not know it was a book.
Me neither.
Zapper says Big Lebowski is great. Oh, and Culture says no, that Avatar experience for that weekend was rough. I liked this series, but it took me several episodes to get invested. Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely more aimed for a younger audience, because when we started watching it, I thought it was too young for me. And that was back when we were, what, like 13?
Yeah, 13 or 14. But the thing is, what I still tell people, like, with Avatar The Last Airbender is, like, it is a children's show. Like, I will say that straight out. I also will say that, like, the first few episodes, like, you just have to kind of, like, work through it. And then, like, you know, it gets better, but, like, the beginning is very like childish at the start.
Yeah. Season 3, I just love season 3.
I mean, I don't know. There's so much I like. I'm still so I've been rewatching it, and I'm in season 3, like about halfway through it. Yeah, the whole team has come together. That's pretty much all I'll say. I don't want to spoil anything for anyone, but.
Oh, Ogre says it's their movie, Burn After Reading. Brad Pitt's in it. Okay. I thought you were saying True Grit was a horrible book. So the thing with True Grit is, because my parents, I don't even know when, let's see. So True Grit came out in 2010. So I guess I was home for the summer or for some break from college or something. And my parents were like, hey, we were thinking about seeing True Grit. And they're like, do you want to watch the original with us first? And then we'll go to the theater and see the new one. So I was like, sure. So we watched the original with John Wayne, and then we watched the new one. And I think I liked the girl in the first movie better, but I liked Jeff Bridges better than John Wayne. That's my review of True Grit. Well, I liked it. It's a Western, you know. But yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I feel like I haven't really ever watched a Western, like, in full.
I did. I mean, besides True Grit, I watched A Fistful of Dollars and A Few Dollars More.
I will say
those are Clint Eastwood movies.
I've seen Blazing Saddles, but that's more of a comedy.
Yeah, that is a comedy. I've seen that too.
But as far as Westerns go, though, because I have seen the show Firefly, though, and I like Firefly, so I feel like I probably would like Westerns, but I just haven't really, like, dedicated myself to watching any.
I wouldn't bother with A Fistful of Dollars. I thought it was just kind of meh.
Okay.
So I did watch Cowboys and Aliens.
Oh, yeah, does that count as a Western, though? I don't know. I forgot about that one.
I wasn't a huge fan of it. It was fine.
Yeah.
Let's see, what other movies? Yeah, I feel like recently, like, the only movies I've seen are either superhero movies or Disney movies. And now they're, like, the same, so. Ogre says, Blazing Saddles is great, never eat beans.
I enjoyed it when I watched it. I don't really remember much of what happens. But
yeah. Oh, another movie that kind of fits into the whole, like, mind twist thing was Fight Club. I was convinced they were two separate people.
Me too. And then when they, like, did the big reveal, I'm like, no, that's not possible.
I mean, this is some conspiracy.
I will say I've heard that the author of the book Fight Club, they're like, don't bother, the movie's better.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And it's like, for an author to say that, I feel like that's pretty crazy.
Yeah. I guess another adventure movie was the Bourne series, which I haven't seen the whole thing, but I did read the first book because Sea Tiger likes it. I wasn't a huge fan of the book, so I'm like, I don't need to see the movie again.
I also read the book and then I watched the movie, and they're so different. Like, they shouldn't, I don't know. It was crazy. They're really nothing alike.
Ogre says Fight Club's amazing. Yeah, I just saw it the one time. Because, I mean, I'm not huge into watching, people beat the crap by. Another movie that's, like, similar mind twist, only more of a feminine spin, is The Black Swan. But that one was, like, gross.
I haven't seen that one.
Well, at one point, because, like, Natalie Portman's character, she really wants to be the Black Swan. And the ballet, like, coordinator person, she's like, no, you don't have the heart for the Black Swan. You're too good. Like, you're the White Swan. She's like, no, I want to be the Black Swan. Culture says, oh man, Black Swan is so good. Or is good. I just saw the one time, but like the part that really freaked me out is when she's like pulling like black feathers out of her skin and there's like blood and stuff. Like it was, ugh. I did not like that part. But I mean, maybe I should give it another chance because I did just see it the one time. Like pulling a really long hangnail. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was not pretty. So gross. Yeah. Let's see what other movies. I guess I'd say a movie that like is a movie that's kind of pleasant to have on in the background, but like, I mean, and when you're actually watching it, it's enjoyable too. But it's Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? And George Clooney's in it with actually I don't know how else is in it. But it's set like back in the past. Like I don't even know what time frame. Like maybe 50s. I don't know. But they sing this song in it because it's like these three guys who escape from jail and they are kind of on the run and but they're like hurting for money, and so they go in and they sing this song and they get paid for it and it becomes this huge hit, but they aren't listening to the radio, so they don't know that it's this huge hit. But I don't know, it's enjoyable. It's kind of weird though. It's like, huh, what's happening now? But yeah, so that's why it's like, oh, kind of nice to have in the background. Zebra says, top 3 movies you like but your husband hates. Oh, is Oh Brother a... Oh, it is. Oh Brother is a Coen movie. So I have seen it. But yeah, don't you agree? It kind of just like goes all over the place. I would say kind of in general, like, my husband's not huge into Disney movies. Like, he'll watch them, but he's not, like, big into them. Because, like, when I wanted to watch... Because when Frozen 2 came to Disney+, I was like, oh, I want to watch Frozen 2, even though I had seen it in theaters. Which I saw with a friend, because he didn't care about seeing. Yeah, so he didn't watch Frozen 2 with me. He just kind of was, like, reading or something, and he would look up occasionally and be like, oh, what's going on? But, so I would say, like, Disney is, like, just a big clump. Like, he doesn't watch those. Let's see.
I think for me, for that category, it'd be, like, books that I've read, like, it would be, like, Little Women or Pride and Prejudice. Like, Argus doesn't care about watching those.
Well, I would also say movies that are semi-serious, like, I would be okay with watching them. But my husband generally, he prefers more of a comedy kind of movie. And I, like, kind of not twisted his arm, but, like, he wasn't overly enthusiastic about watching Togo. But I was like, come on, I want to watch Togo. And Zephyr says besides chick flicks or action movies. Well, he's been he's been helping come up with good chick flicks to watch. So
I would say
or rom-coms.
Argus isn't a huge fan of the Miyazaki movies or Studio Ghibli, whatever. But the thing is, like, I want to watch them all. So so I kind of made a deal with him where, like, I just want him to watch for the first hour and then he can go do whatever he wants, just so that, like, he at least knows what the movie's about. Okay. So I guess that's what I would say for him.
Ogre says Disney, superheroes, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, James Bond after 1990. Can't stand any of those. Well,
that's for you, Ogre?
You're wrong about Disney, but...
You don't like Lord of the Rings?
The rest of them, I'm okay with you saying that. Lord of the Rings are way too long.
I mean... It's kind of like the same thing that you said, like, you know, you can just put them on in the background and, like, yeah, you can just watch them too if you want. Like, I like them.
Yeah. Ogre can't watch only an hour of a movie because it'll bug him that he hasn't finished it. Yeah, I'm the same way. I like to know how a movie ends. Yeah, so like semi-serious movies, like, you know, I can't even think of ones, but like if there's a movie that I would be semi-interested in seeing, and I'm like, oh, I'd be up for seeing that sometime. And then he's always like, nah. But I can't really think of an example for that. I think I'm more open-minded when it comes to movies, but we're both on the same page in that we don't like scary movies. Ogre says Star Wars, can't stand them either. So like, I'm not a huge Star Wars or Star Trek fan. I mean, I've seen well, no, I haven't, because we have not seen the latest Star Wars.
I will say, I like the new Star Trek movies a lot.
They're not that new anymore.
But there's like the old ones with like the original cast. Okay. So I like the new ones. I actually like them a lot. I don't know that I'd say they're like, maybe one of them would be in like my top 10 movies. I liked the third one a lot. The second one I wasn't as into.
The Star Wars, I need to see the latest movie. But the thing is, like, I remember when I saw the fourth one, or, you know, the A New Hope.
Yeah.
I was just kind of like, the only thing that
I was talking about Star
movie,
Trek. I just want to make that clear. Okay.
Yeah, I remember thinking, I'm like, this is so weird. Like, or not so weird, but I'm like, hardly anything happened. They just killed the Death Star. Like, I was like, I felt like more was going to happen. I remember being let down. I'm like, or just disappointed.
Yeah.
But now that I, you know what to expect, I'm fine with them. And though I will say that I do really enjoy The Mandalorian. I think that's a good series. And I think the reboot, or like the newest Star Wars, well, I'll say The Force Awakens. I thought that one was good. I didn't care for the second one as much. Or the eighth one, I guess.
Yeah, Argus really likes, there's a fan edit of the second one in the new trio. And he really likes the fan edit. So he's like, you know, the fan edit of that one is the best in the series. Because like he went from hating that one the most to being like, oh yeah, the fan edit though, it's great.
Oh, so Ogre likes James Bond before 1990. Zapper likes James Bond after 1990. And Zapper says that Search for Spock is a great movie.
I know, I've seen all the Star Trek movies. I don't remember, is that the last one of the original series? So I've only seen them each once, and they were all kind of like one after another, and it was a blur.
See, I feel like there's too much of Star Trek. Like, for me, Star Trek is more on par with Doctor Who.
Oh gosh, I don't know.
And I'm like, I just can't get into that. There's just too much. But I was gonna say, as far as what's it called? James Bond goes. So when we were young, we watched On Her Majesty's Secret Service because we had been to the spot where it was filmed. And the movie was horrible, I thought. But recently, like probably in the last 6 months, my husband and I watched Dr. No. I think it's the first one or the second one. And I actually thought that one was really good. I was like, huh, like good old James Bond, old one. Culture says Wrath of Khan is my favorite for Star Wars. Sounds like
Star Trek.
Or not, oh. I know, I was actually thinking James Bond. This could be a game. What's it from? Zapper says, you said you like the third Trek movie. That's the third one.
Yes, I like that one a lot. I thought they put on like the new unis. I was like, oh my gosh. And when I say new, they're really like the old ones from like Star Trek Enterprise, and they look sweet. But it's not just about that, but like the whole premise, like it's very true to Star Trek. Whereas I feel like some of the movies are too like, I don't know, like action-y, or because I feel like, because that's to me like, I'm not a huge fan of Star Wars. It's like, it's very action-y where everyone's got their phasers or the lightsabers or whatever, but they've also got the space battles. The Star Trek is more like there's some problem or they're on some weird planet and they gotta figure out like what's up. It's more kind of like it's not always like a detective thing, but it's like something weird is happening. Like, why is it happening? Let's fix it.
And Culture says that James Bond was way different before Austin Powers came out. I haven't seen that much to know the difference. But I have seen Austin Powers. His teeth are very yellow. Those British people. Well, Mike Myers is American, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be up for seeing more James Bond just to like get a better feel for which ones are good. And actually, I think at the beginning of this quarantine, Steve Tiger was watching a whole bunch of James Bond. He watched like, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 of the movies, but he kind of stopped doing that. I don't know why. Zapper has heard that both Brosnan and Craig said that Austin Powers screwed the series over. I didn't realize that they were, I mean, I know Austin Powers is also like a spy, but I didn't realize that it kind of messed up the James Bond movies.
Yeah, I didn't know that at all.
Oh, so Austin Powers forced James Bond to be more serious.
Oh, interesting. Oh gosh, yeah, Captain Kirk is climbing. Yes, that's right, Argus. There's an interview. Why can't I think of the actor that played Captain Kirk? That's really bad. But anyways, they do an interview with him about one of the movies, and so like this fan edit though like kind of turns it into a song where Captain Kirk is climbing a mountain. Why is he climbing a mountain? It's funny.
And Culture says Roger Moore in particular was a very silly Bond. Huh. Yeah, I haven't seen any of them. I don't think. Unless he was in Dr. No. That's the one I did see. So yeah, on Her Majesty's Secret Service, I do not recommend. I mean, maybe it's just because we were like 14 when we saw it, but yeah, I was not a fan.
I feel like any Bond movie I see, I'm always like, that was fine.
Mm-hmm.
Which,
yeah.
You know, it's not exactly a glowing review.
Yeah. But I do think you should give Mission Impossible a try.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that the 2 newer ones, like maybe 5 and 6 or 6 and 7,
wouldn't I want to watch the first one, the original?
Well, you would. But I'm saying that I think those 2 were, I thought that they were good. I mean, they're all good. Except the second one. And Ogre says, how dare you, Roger Moore was the best Bond. And Culture says, no, I love Moore. I'm gonna look up Roger Moore. Don't a lot of people like Sean Connery?
Yeah.
He did Goldfinger, is that right? Roger Moore. Oh, so Roger Moore did Live and Let Die. I mean, and he did others, but that's the one that I recognize because we played a song in band, Live and Let Die.
We did.
I was like, this is a cool song.
Live and Let Die. Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah. I think we also played Goldfinger, didn't we?
Yeah, I don't remember how that one goes, though.
I don't remember how it goes either, but I think we played it. Because for those who don't know, back in middle school and for me, freshman year of high school and her all years of high school, I played trumpet and she played clarinet. And we were both terrible.
But the thing is, because like with our school, there were 2 lunch periods for high school. So it's either you were in the lunch that where you're also in band, choir, or orchestra, or you're in the other lunch where you don't do any of those things. And so all the people we sat with at lunch were in band or choir or orchestra. So,
well, just the people we sat at lunch with, they were our friends.
Well, yeah, but like, you know, we've since kind of fell out.
Not everyone, because one of my friends from choir, we hang out. Well, she just sit at our table, I guess.
No.
But because after band, I switched to choir because I'm like, you know what? I can't play this trumpet any longer. I hate this thing.
You know, I haven't touched my clarinet since the last day of band senior year, and I've never looked back. I did not like it. But just because I hate singing though. So,
yeah. I mean, most people in choir didn't sing, so you could have just faked it like everybody else.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't sing alto, even though alto is probably more my range. But nobody in alto sang, so I'm like, you know what? I need to switch to soprano so that I can blend in with everyone else.
Just so
I was
you
a
know,
soprano too. I couldn't sing as high as the soprano ones. They were crazy.
Never mind. I thought one of our people was like going to die, but they're gonna survive another round.
Okay. Well, I was gonna ask our viewers, did anybody play any instruments in band or orchestra or sing in choir? I do think singing in choir made me a slightly better singer.
I would believe that.
And then I realized that I should have been playing piano this whole time, and that's why I'm doing lessons now.
Yeah. And the saddest thing is that was the first instrument you ever played, so it's like...
I know.
If only you just stayed the course.
Yeah. Zapper did choir, hated it. Yep. Sounds about right.
Yeah.
I mean, it was okay. I had friends in it, so that was nice. One of the girls on the swim team, you know, I sat with her, so... And she sang loud, so I could just kind of latch onto her. Like a leech.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Another category of movies is war movies, but I haven't seen too many of those.
I'm sure I could come up with one.
But we watched The Gladiator in history class, and I thought that was all right.
But is that really a war movie, though?
No. I would call it a history movie, which I did earlier say that I didn't like history movies, but I thought that one was decent. And I've heard that a few of the ones like Dunkirk and maybe some other World War II movie.
Dunkirk was good.
Yeah, I didn't see it, but I heard it was good.
Yeah, I liked Dunkirk.
Erica.
Yeah.
Brother?
You know, we're not going to have time to finish this battle. It's already 8.
Yeah, I see that. Well,
but we had said last time that that's just going to have to happen sometimes. Probably like all the time from now on, because I think the battles are always going to be big and long.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. So, we'll stop here for now. And I'll probably beat this off stream and then play another level, and then we'll start the next level at the beginning of the next stream.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Well, thanks everyone for watching.
I'm gonna try to come up with more movies, and then
I will too, because
report back.
I feel like when we're on camera, I don't think as clearly as I usually do.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, we'll figure this out, you guys.
Yeah, we'll come up with some other movies we like.
Yeah.
All right. Well, see you guys next week.
Yep. Thank y'all for watching.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.